Welcome back. I'm an emergency doctor actively working at the emergency department of my hospital. In this Doctor's Corner series, we'll dive into lesser-known approaches and hidden strategies to help the people with critical illnesses. You can subscribe if you want to learn the latest news and healthy solutions about your health. Good day, everyone. Let us begin with a direct question. Why does anger so often feel stronger than our best intentions? Why can a person promise, "I will stay calm," and then, in one heated moment, speak sharply, slam a door, send the message, or damage a relationship? Here is the first thing to understand. Anger is not simply a bad attitude. Treat it as a full body state. It changes attention, breathing, muscle tone, heart rate, voice volume, facial expression, and decision-making speed. It pushes the body toward action. That is why telling someone, "Just calm down," often fails. Calm down how? Calm down when? Calm down toward what? So do this instead. Give anger a job before anger gives you one. That is the heart of goal setting. Ask yourself, what should my anger protect? What should it repair? What should it help me communicate? What line should it help me draw without making me cruel? When anger has no goal, it becomes heat. When anger has a clear goal, it can become direction. Medical and psychological literature supports this distinction. Anger treatments for adults have been examined in meta-analytic research and structured approaches, especially those using cognitive behavioral methods, relaxation, skills, practice, and self-monitoring, show meaningful benefit for reducing anger problems. The key is not pretending anger does not exist. The key is teaching the mind and body what to do with anger once it arrives. So listen carefully. Do not make never get angry your goal. That goal is biologically unrealistic and psychologically unhelpful. Make this your goal instead. When anger appears, I will respond in a way that protects my values, my health, and my relationships. Why is this better? Because it gives the brain a target. How does it work? It converts a vague wish into a rehearsed response. Today, we're going to look at why goal setting helps anger control, how to set goals that work under pressure, and how to turn anger from an impulsive reaction into a trained signal. First, understand the biology. When anger rises, the body prepares for confrontation. Breathing may become shallow, the jaw tightens, the shoulders rise, the heart works harder, attention narrows. The mind begins to search for evidence. I was disrespected. I was ignored. I was treated unfairly. Now ask, is that the best time to design a wise plan from scratch? No. That is why you must design the plan before the moment arrives. In 2024, a large review in Clinical Psychology Review examined 154 studies with more than 10,000 participants and found that activities that lower physiological arousal, such as breathing, mindfulness, meditation, and yoga, reduced anger and aggression. Activities that increase arousal, including venting or some forms of intense exertion, did not show the same overall benefit. So stop assuming that letting it all out is automatically healing. It may feel powerful, but power is not the same as control. Now ask, how does goal setting fit into this? Goal setting works because it gives anger a sequence. Instead of "I feel anger, so I react," the sequence becomes "I feel anger, so I follow my plan." That plan may be as simple as pause, breathe, lower the voice, name the issue, ask for time, return to the conversation, and repair if needed. Say it clearly, pause first, speak second, decide third, repair fourth. Do not wait for motivation. Do not wait for the perfect mood. Build the pathway. Rehearse it. Use it. Research on implementation intentions, those simple if-then plans, shows that specifying when, where, and how a person will act improves goal achievement across many studies. The formula is basic, but the effect is powerful. If situation Y happens, then I will do behavior X. For anger, this matters because the trigger is often predictable. It is the same tone of voice, the same family conflict, the same traffic pattern, the same criticism at work, the same feeling of being dismissed. So write your anger goal like this. If I feel my face getting hot, then I will relax my jaw and take 3 slow breaths before answering. If I want to interrupt, then I will place both feet on the floor and let the other person finish one sentence. If I feel the urge to insult, then I will say, I need 2 minutes so I can respond properly. If I raise my voice, then I will stop and restart the sentence more slowly. Do not make the plan poetic. Make it usable. Make it short enough to remember while your nervous system is activated. Now ask another question. Why does a small goal work better than a grand promise? Because anger does not usually explode from nowhere. It climbs. There is a first spark, then a second, then a point where control becomes harder. Your goal must meet anger early. If your only goal is, I will not explode, you have entered too late. Set goals at the first body signal. Command yourself with precision. Notice the early signal. Name it silently. Lower the arousal. Choose the next sentence. Why name it? Because naming creates distance. I am furious can become anger is rising. That tiny shift matters. It moves you from being inside the storm to observing the storm. How do you make that shift stronger? Pair it with a goal. Anger is rising, and my goal is to protect this conversation. Now consider something many people miss. Anger can contain energy. It may point to a blocked goal, a violated boundary, a fear, or a need for respect. A study published by the American Psychological Association in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that anger can increase effort toward challenging goals in certain situations. That does not mean anger should be worshipped. It means anger is not always useless. It needs governance. So ask yourself, what is my anger trying to make me do? And is that action-wise? If anger says attack, redirect it. State the boundary. If anger says punish, redirect it. Request the change. If anger says walk away forever, redirect it. Take a timed pause and review the facts. If anger says win, redirect it. Solve the problem. This is the difference between discharge and direction. Now let us build a complete anger control goal system. Do not just set one goal, set 4. First, set a body goal. Say, my first job is to lower the intensity. Why? Because a highly activated body makes wise language harder. How? Use breathing, muscle release, posture, and pace. Try this. Inhale for 4 counts, exhale for 6. Drop your shoulders, unclench your hands, keep your tongue relaxed, slow your first sentence by 20%. These details sound small, but in a heated exchange, small body changes can prevent large social damage. Second, set a speech goal. Say, my voice must not become a weapon. Why? Because tone often injures before content is even understood. How? Use one sentence that begins with the issue, not the accusation. Instead of, you never listen, say, I need to finish my point before we decide. Instead of, you are disrespectful, say, that comment landed as disrespectful, let us slow this down. Instead of, I am done with you, say, I am too activated to continue well, I will come back in 20 minutes. Give yourself these sentences in advance. Do not improvise while flooded. Third, set a relationship goal. Ask, after this conversation, what do I want still intact? Trust? Safety? Dignity? Teamwork? Parenting authority? Professional credibility? Then command your behavior accordingly. Protect what you want to keep. If you want respect, do not model contempt. If you want honesty, do not use fear to get silence. If you want closeness, do not use anger to create distance and then complain about loneliness. Fourth, set a repair goal. Why repair? Because even trained people slip. Anger control is not perfection, it is recovery speed. How do you repair? Do it quickly, specifically, and without theatre. Say, I raised my voice. That was not okay. The issue matters, but my delivery was wrong. I am going to try again. Do not add, but you made me. Do not turn the apology into a second argument. Repair is not surrender. Repair is leadership. Now, how do we measure progress? Use a simple daily score. At the end of the day, rate 3 things from 0 to 10. How early did I notice anger? How well did I lower my body intensity? How closely did I follow my planned response? Then write 1 line. Next time, I will. This kind of self-monitoring is not just personal advice, it aligns with behavior change research. A systematic meta-review of health behavior change identified goal setting, reviewing goals, self-monitoring, action planning, coping planning, feedback, and emotional control training as important self-regulation components. In other words, progress improves when the goal is not only declared, but tracked, reviewed, and adjusted. So do not simply say, I need to control my anger. That is too broad. Say, this week, when I feel criticized, I will pause for 3 breaths before responding. This week, I will not send messages while angry. I will wait 15 minutes and reread before sending. This week, if a conversation becomes heated, I will ask for a timed pause instead of leaving without explanation. This week, after any angry moment, I will repair within the same day. Why 1 week? Because the brain learns through repetition and feedback. How do habits form? Through repeated cues and repeated responses. You are training a new reflex. Now let us make this personal without making it soft. Think of the last time anger controlled you. Do not shame yourself. Study it. Where were you? Who was present? What was said? What did your body do first? What did you want in that moment? Respect, fairness, control, rest, safety, appreciation. Now ask, what goals should have been there before the anger arrived? Maybe the goal was, I will not discuss serious topics when I am exhausted. Maybe it was, I will ask 1 clarifying question before defending myself. Maybe it was, I will leave the room before I insult someone. Maybe it was, I will say the truth without raising the volume. Set that goal now. Make it visible. Put it in your notes. Practice it out loud. Tell 1 trusted person. Review it before entering situations that usually trigger you. And remember this, anger often promises immediate relief but charges interest later. The sharp comment may feel satisfying for 5 seconds, then cost 5 days of distance. Goal setting interrupts that transaction. It asks, what outcome do I actually want? Then it pulls your behavior toward that outcome. Let us close with a clear summary. Anger control improves when we stop treating anger as a monster to destroy and start treating it as a signal to direct. Why does goal setting help? Because anger narrows the mind and a goal gives the mind a track. How does it help? By preparing a response before the body becomes too activated to think clearly. So leave with these commands. Do not aim to erase anger, aim to govern it. Do not vent automatically. Lower the heat first. Do not trust your first impulse. Follow your prepared plan. Do not measure success by never feeling anger. Measure success by noticing earlier, recovering faster, speaking cleaner, and repairing sooner. Before your next difficult conversation, ask yourself, what is my goal? What is my first signal? What is my first action? What sentence will I use? How will I repair if I miss the mark? That is how anger becomes less dangerous. That is how self-control becomes trainable. That is how a person moves from reaction to responsibility. Take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and keep building homes, workplaces, and communities where strong feelings are handled with wisdom. I'll see you in the next topic.